Oh, by the way, this also gives me an opportunity to clear a controversy. Obviously, you and Bull didn't have a fight the other day.
No, not at all. So we were taking a mick out of you, right?
Of
Well,
course.
he was saying, whenever we win, head is always there first, shaking hands.
No, in fact,
And
his
I was
exact
saying-
words were, oh, now that we've won, why don't you come? The cameras are here.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
look, you're on TV.
Yeah. No, then I went, oh, look, he's on the screen. Then he's like, yeah, look, he's on the screen. But actually, you know what? It does look like we're arguing.
I know. Because, again, that finger waving from Bull.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, man, seriously. But then...
But he's like, I played a lot against him, and I didn't
Is
know
this your
him.
first time sharing a dressing room with him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't know.
So we've always we've got on, but we haven't got on as well at the same time. In obviously Australia, England, and all that. But he's like Rav says, he's a winner, and he just wants to. But I'm really surprised about how open he is in terms of his captaincy, and like he'll ask people for advice and what do you think of this? And you know when someone's played at that level and they've won everything and they've done everything, they don't normally do that. A lot of players don't do that, but he's quality, man. He's really good.
He's great to have in your team.
Yeah, I think he's
Fantastic to have in your team.
And obviously, when we were going into the auction, in fact, it was him who initially said, you don't need to retain me. The locals will be much more difficult to get in the auction. Retain Hassan in my place and have a crack at me in the auction. Right? And
That was gonna happen anyway, Dave. Thanks, Dave, but that was gonna happen anyway.
But also with him, you're guaranteed runs almost.
Yeah.
I mean, anything can happen, but even when he's not scoring runs, for most people it's runs. If that makes sense. Like he scores runs.
He's the run getter. He's a run getter.
Yeah.
You need those guys.
What I admire about him, obviously, A is the energy. He uplifts the entire group. And then, even at this age, he's probably one of the fittest guys in the dressing
Yeah,
room.
he's fit.
He's not that old.
Of course, you can say that. But obviously, that's one of the controversies which are around, players after they've retired from international cricket. They say that, okay, they've reached an age where, in fact, they're let's say closer to the end of their careers than the beginning, and that criticism comes. I know you've always have been a firm believer, and I think I've actually taken a leaf out of your book where you've said, if the guy is performing, if he's playing regularly, age doesn't matter.
Definitely.
Ravi has been pretty straightforward about this. I think every single interview that we've done, Ravi's always said age doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
And I also am a firm believer in that. I mean, there have been teams where I know when post-international retirements are, well, Imiti still hasn't retired, but still, going for players like Imiti because I know he will get the job done.
Yeah.
Going for someone like Polly, knowing that he could get the job done. Right?
Yeah.
So, because in this modern day and age, when these players are looking after their bodies and looking after their regimen.
But also, don't forget, it was 4-day cricket that is a little bit different. When you're playing 4 days regularly, your body does get tired and you become slower or whatever. But when you're playing T20 cricket, it's a completely different game.
Yeah.
As long as you're performing, age is not a problem at all.
Okay.